You've asked me to kill you. I'm not an executioner, Lormer. I've been hired to take you back alive.
Have Gun. Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Yeah, well, who is it?
It's me, Mr. Paladin. Hey, boy.
Oh, come in.
Oh, very sorry to wake you so early, Mr. Paladin, but telegram come for you.
Yeah, well, they always come early after a late night. Let's see then.
Whoa, that was very late night you had last night.
Yes, it was.
Yes, no good to stay up until daybreak.
Sometimes it can be very interesting.
Oh, but you need sleep.
Well, it looks like I won't get any more sleep today. This telegram says the sheriff of Little Spring wants me there tonight.
Sheriff? You will do something wrong in Little Spring?
No, hardly. I've never even been there. He wants to hire me for $3,000.
Oh, 3,000? Hey, you can make it?
Hey, boy, at those prices, I'd saddle an eagle to get there.
If you're suffering from a cold, medical authorities advise, whenever possible, go to bed when you first feel a cold coming on. Keep comfortably warm and protected from direct drafts and changing temperatures. Drink plenty of liquids, water, soups, milk, and fruit juices. And here's another important health tip. When you have a cold and need a laxative, that's the time to rely on gentle X-Lax. Pleasant-tasting, chocolated X-Lax helps you toward your normal regularity, gently overnight. X-Lax works where nature wants, in the lower tract, not the stomach. Taken at bedtime, X-Lax gives you the closest thing to natural action the next morning, without upset, without discomfort. And X-Lax is so effective, it continues to help. Seldom, if ever, do you need to take it again the next day. So when you have a cold, and suffer constipation too, take X-Lax, a medicine you can use with complete confidence.